plays anyway. But again, it didn't really have an effect on the outcome of the game. I mean, I'm not saying that. I mean,
the 4-run second inning kind of really put the Braves
dominated the game. Much like the Braves put it away early in Game 1, this thing was put away early. The Braves had a little flurry there where, they cut it to 5-2, and Fried, to his credit, he settled down and got him into the 6th inning before he ran into some more trouble and they had to go to the bullpen. So at least he did give him some innings, so to speak. And I don't think the Braves burned through anybody that has been one of the guys that one of their front line pitchers. But the good thing about Kyle Wright, though, with the way he looked with his stuff in that late in the ball game, hopefully that'll give him a chance. Maybe in this bullpen game coming up that they're saying they're going to throw, in Game 4. It'll give him a shot in Atlanta to maybe pitch some more because I just thought he looked different. I mean, even last year he had a little success in the NLCS, but it still was still deep in counts, and it looked like he was still a little bit afraid to trust his stuff. I thought he just trusted his stuff last night, and he just mowed him down. Now, you're losing 7-2 at the time, but still, it's the World Series, and I thought he looked like a different guy. So maybe he'll have some more chances down the road in this series.
Now, if you are paying attention and if you kind of like to draw names from teams of past, the Houston Astros catcher is Martin Maldonado, and he is, of course, a former Huntsville Star.
So is Michael Brantley, and Michael Brantley may be the best hitter on the Astros right now. He's on fire. He was with the Stars, of course, during the Brewers' days.
I think he was with Maldonado. He may have either been with Maldonado or close to Martin Maldonado.
But Michael Brantley has had good years with Cleveland in the postseason before, and now he's with Houston, and that dude can swing the bat. He and Tucker, to me, have been the table setters and the two most standout guys. I mean, Altuve hit a home run last night later in the ball game, but I'm just saying those two dudes in the middle of the lineup have really given Atlanta a hard time. Brantley, he continues. If they get him out, even he hits it hard. But then and then Tucker, someone that the Braves were interested in a few years ago in a trade. Of course, that would have been stupidity because it would have been giving up Freddie Freeman, and then you immediately fire the general manager. But Tucker is a good player and a really good hitter, and so give the Astros credit. I mean, they totally won that game. They earned it, and now it's 1-1. The Braves got a split, and hopefully they can get Game 3 in Atlanta on Friday.
All right, that is your Major League Baseball update on the World Series. You want to get in on that conversation, 256-576-4977, and feel free to give us a call on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. That is where we go to now. Pat from Tuscaloosa is with us this morning. Good morning, Pat.
Good morning. Good morning, fellas. Good morning, Drew.
Morning, Pat.
Yeah, man. LSU question again this morning that I got up early, listened to James Franklin's press conference, and he's wanting to say, well, he want to do the golden rule. We want to treat the people around there, want to treat the staff good, want to treat the players good, want to treat the university good. But he didn't come out and say, I am not leaving. What do you think?
Well, I don't think he is. I think he hired Jimmy Sexton to get a big raise, and I think he's going to play LSU and USC off of Penn State. But of course, he needs to win some games too because the Illinois loss was pathetic.
And he's got a big one this Saturday against Ohio State.
And that was at home in Happy Valley.
He's got Ohio State.
Yep, he could make a huge statement beating Ohio State, and certainly get some more leverage with the administration and the AD at Penn State. But if you're asking me what I think is going to eventually happen, I think that James Franklin, in my opinion, is probably going to end up staying at Penn State and get a raise. Jimmy Sexton's the king at doing that kind of thing. If you ask me which job would he be more likely to take, I would say USC.
Right.
But, we'll see. USC is kind of a funny place and the way they do searches and things of that nature. But I think that James Franklin will more than likely stay at Penn State.
Of the three, which one can you have more success at? Penn State, USC, or LSU?
Well, for James Franklin, I think for him, and I'm talking about a fit as a coach,
right.
I don't see him as a fit at LSU. I think he'd be a fit at USC. certainly he would be Ohio State in that conference if he could get it straightened out.
Right.
Because right now at Penn State, they're not going to beat Ohio State most of the time. Ohio State's going to have the best players. Ohio State's going to have the best facilities.
True.
And the best they're going to spend the most money. So to me, if you're trying to be the big dog in your conference, then probably for James Franklin to be USC.
Gotcha. Because I think at LSU, that if he goes to LSU, he's going to have to face Coach Saban. And when Franklin left for Penn State, he called him Nicky Satan, and I'm holding that in my craw, and I can't wait to beat Franklin like a stepchild on a regular basis.
Well, I don't think Franklin's going to come back to the SEC. I think he's going to stay in the Big Ten, but if he does leave, I think it would be to go to Southern California. And certainly Franklin is kind of like Dan Mullen to me. He's never wrong. Just ask him when he talks about things. But I was reading some headlines yesterday. Sounds like he started off the week. They're supposed to be playing Ohio State, and he starts talking about Illinois and he didn't even really know who they were playing. So who knows with Franklin what he's focused on? He may be focused on his wallet. I don't know.
All right, Pat.
Yeah,
Thanks,
Pat. Thank y'all, fellas. Have a blessed day.
All right.
Yes, sir.
You bring up an interesting comparison there. James Franklin, Dan Mullen.
Yeah.
I mean, the expectations around Penn State have been exceedingly high.
Right.
Same way with Florida. Are they both equal? I mean, are they the same type of head coach, James Franklin and Dan Mullen, where, I mean, you're only going to get so much and so high with them?
Well, in many ways, there's a lot of parallel comparisons.
Yeah.
I mean, James Franklin wanted an even tougher place in the SEC at Vandy, but certainly Dan Mullen won in Starkville at Mississippi State. That's not easy. And then they both go to tradition-rich places. I do think Dan Mullen has more geographic advantages. He's in a better league in the SEC, and he's in the state of Florida.
He should be winning, though, a lot.
Well, he is winning a lot. I mean, he's had 3 straight 10-win seasons. Now, that's probably going to come to a close this year, unless they win out and then win the bowl game. And then if they upset Georgia, all is forgiven, and they'll probably make him $9 million a year, and then he'll become even more arrogant. But
they both seem to have those inexplicably bad losses.
Yeah, they do.
Every year.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They both have inexplicable losses. They both never own up to it and blame themselves. It's usually officials or players or assistant coaches or whatever. But, I mean, again, I do think that both of them are really good coaches, but I don't think they're elite. I don't think either one of them will ever win a national championship. I don't think Franklin would win one at Southern Cal, but I do think he'd recruit very well. He certainly recruited at a different level at Vandy.
True.
When he was there. And then he left some good players for Derek Mason, and certainly Dan Mullen has done a good job at Florida. But the difference is, I think Franklin's a better recruiter. I don't think Mullen is a great recruiter. He's never been a great recruiter, even when he was at Mississippi State. He's a good developer, but the problem is that at a place like Florida, where you're more high profile, you're expected to recruit at a higher level because you're the state university in Florida. And he's come along at a time when Florida State and Miami are horrifically bad. I mean, you need to be dominating the state of Florida in recruiting, not letting Alabama come in there and cherry-pick guys from Miami and cherry-pick guys from other parts of the state, letting Georgia, cherry-pick. I mean, I don't think Dan's on the hot seat right now,
right?
But he needs to tweak some things, no question about it.
Well, based on records, based on rankings, you can say Penn State right now is the second best team in the state of Pennsylvania.
Pitt
right now, probably a lot of people really jumping on that Pitt bandwagon.
Well, Pat Narduzzi's done a great job. I mean, they had an inexplicable loss to Western Michigan. I still don't know what the hell happened. They lost a shootout in that game, but other than that, I mean, they beat Tennessee in Knoxville, and then they knocked Dabo off into the 3-loss Drake Mayo Bowl discussion. So certainly Pitt is, and now
Duke's
Pitt
Mayo Bowl.
is
There we go.
And it's on the periphery and then kind of sneaking under the radar. But Pitt is in the college football playoff conversation because they have a chance to win the ACC. Now they're going to have to win out, and that loss to Western Michigan, pardon me. That loss to Western Michigan. That's going to kind of be an albatross around their necks there,
right,
for trying to make the playoff, but still a remarkable job, though, by Pat Narduzzi.
All right, 256-576-4977. Coming up here in just a little bit, we will talk some high school football. Bob Godsey's got to join the show. It is raining right now, but I think this is all going to move out, and it should be an okay day.
Well,
I hope
we
so.
Hope so. I don't know. I was looking at the radar.
Doesn't look good. Could be a wet, soggy night
for the next couple of days. I'm just going to send a shout-out out. Anybody listening, whether it be the athletic director, whether it be Coach Adcock, somebody, just let us know.
Dry space.
Yeah, where we need to come. We need to come to the field house. Because right now I'm figuring we're going to need either a rowboat or a yellow submarine.
Oh, high school football galore. Thursday night.
We're honoring our
night.
ESPN 97.7 The Zone Bryant Bank Team of the Week today, and we're looking forward to seeing those folks out there.
See, we can do that indoors, so I don't have a problem
that's what I'm
with
saying.
that.
Where are we going indoors?
I'm okay with that.
I'm sure there's a field house over there at Decatur High School. We need to find it.
Yes.
Because that's what it's looking like.
Oh, boy, I tell you what. I was driving into work today, or driving in here to Bill Penny Toyota, and that wind this morning, goodness gracious.
Oh, the trees are whipping around now. They're whipping around.
They're whipping around.
Yeah, the leaves are everywhere.
Oh, I know. I got to blow my backyard, and it doesn't do any good because as soon as I do it, I'm sure we're just like everybody else. You blow the leaves once, and 2 minutes later you come out, and it doesn't even look like you've done a thing. So.
Right.
All right, 7:20 here on a Thursday morning. We're live from the Bill Penny Service Department. Don't forget they can service your vehicles Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then on Saturday, they're open 7 to 5. Don't forget, right now, you pull in here, tell them you need 4 new tires. You get 3, and then you get that 4th one for just $1 here at Bill Penny Toyota. And then while you're here, mosey over to the showroom. Grab yourself one of those brand new Toyotas, take it for a test drive, and then register to win $5,000.
And I had somebody reach out to me last night. They wanted to know about it once again, if we were going to be giving away any more autographs for the sportscollectibles.com/Bama Authentic show. That's going to the 2 shows that will be Saturday and Sunday. Yes, we are once again going to be giving away some Trayshawn Holden autograph opportunities. So we were able to do that yesterday, and so we will definitely be giving away some opportunities to get an autograph from one of the best wide receivers on the University of Alabama football team. He will be coming up here on Sunday and with his roommate, which his roommate happens to be Bryce Young. And we will also have an opportunity tomorrow to give away an autograph opportunity for our Bryce Young as well.
I tell you what, we got just a couple seconds here. Let's do it. We don't have to. Let's do it. We got 5 of them to give away, but let's give away 2 of them right now.
Yeah.
256-576-4977. Once again, 256-576-4977. If you want to get an autograph from Trayshawn Holden this weekend, give the Neighbors Wealth Management a hotline call now, 256-576-4977. The next couple people that call in, we will give you a ticket to head to Parkway Place Mall, and grab that autograph. Remember, you do need the tickets to get the autograph. So
yeah, and I was going to give everybody the times once again for these players, because on Saturday, Jordan Battle, starting strong safety for the University of Alabama, he will be there at 12:30 to sign autographs. Josh Jobe, senior cornerback for the University of Alabama, will be there also at 12:30 on the 30th on Saturday. And one of the best running backs in the SEC, Brian Robinson Jr., will be signing at 1:45 on Saturday on the 30th. And then on Sunday, JoJo Earl will be signing autographs at 12:30. Jaleel Billingsley, starting tight end for the University of Alabama, he will be at 1 o'clock on Sunday. And then, as we said, Trayshawn Holden will be there at 1:30 on Sunday, and the next 2 callers can win a free ticket to get a Trayshawn Holden autographed. And then Bryce Young will be signing on Sunday starting at 2 o'clock. And so he may be the leader in the clubhouse right now for the Heisman Trophy for the University of Alabama. So those young men will be there on Saturday and Sunday, presented by SportsCollectibles.com and Bama Authentics. And Michael Rodman, who does an outstanding job. There's nobody better in the business of the autograph business.
Yeah.
No one more trusted. No one that dots the I's and crosses the T's better than him. And he will be with us tomorrow morning to talk about this event that he's helping put on. But certainly you can go to SportsCollectibles.com and see that lineup. But the next couple of callers, we had winners yesterday. Call in right now, and you can win a Trayshawn Holden autograph for the University of Alabama. Just leave your contact info with Chad. He will get it to us, and we will, of course, forward it over to Mike Rodman and those guys. But go ahead and call in and give yourself a chance to win a free autograph. And then tomorrow we're going to give away some more Trayshawn Holden, but also an opportunity to win a free Bryce Young signature.
All right, let's get a break in. When we come back, we will talk high school football. Hopefully the weather cooperates, but I know who will cooperate after the break, and that is Bob Godsey, Madison Academy head coach.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
That wreck in Decatur is a vehicle versus a train. It's out on 20 near 12th Avenue. They've got westbound blocked completely, and they're putting one lane of westbound traffic over on the eastbound side. So east and westbound, you got problems through that area. Luckily, the driver of that vehicle involved in it is not seriously injured. 565 eastbound near Zert, got a report of an accident there. The Somnodent from Dr. Sandman's an easy-to-use oral device, no mask, no hose, and insurance accepted for sleep apnea and for snoring. 350-CARE or RandallSandlin.com. Captain Nick in the North Parkway Popeyes Skywatch Traffic Center.
At Bryant Bank, we believe your goals are worth chasing, and every step along the way is worth celebrating. From your hopes for the future to the challenges that keep you up at night, we're here for you. Bryant Bankers put care into action to help you live legendary by stepping up when you need us most and doing what's right, even when no one is watching. Come experience a local bank whose people greet you by name and treat you like family. Bryant Bank, member FDIC.
If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation, insulation removal, wall insulation, and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
In today's real estate market, you need the right professionals to help make sure your home purchase is smooth and hassle-free. That's where Jacob Title comes in. Stan McDonald and the staff at Jacob Title cater to the realtor and clients who are looking for a top-flight closing experience. Jacob Title uses the latest and best technologies to ensure a safe and secure exchange of funds, and they pride themselves on great communication well before and during the real estate closing process. Jacob Title in Huntsville and Madison, and online at jacobtitle.com.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey Wes, our company Fleming Roofing and Restoration specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your Your shingles, we can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10-plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
If you need a car, McCurry Motors is ready to put you in a quality vehicle, and in-house financing is available. If you have a job, McCurry Motors will work with you even if you have a bankruptcy, divorce, or bad credit. Visit McCurrySaysYes.com. Every car comes with a warranty, and they report to the credit bureau. With 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens, call 256-230-0232, or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville. Call 256-713-0575.
Lowe's Provember event is back, and we're thanking pros like you all month long with buy one, get one free deals on select DeWalt power tools and top values like a Spyder 2-pack of 4.5-inch diamond cutoff wheels for $14.98. Join us for Provember, going on now through November 24th. Shop in-store or at Lowe's.com/Provember. Lowe's, the new home for pros. While supplies last, U.S. only, valid 10/28 through 11/24.
Hi, everybody. Eli Gold here. Right now, indoor air quality occupies top-of-mind awareness for families and business owners. Rick Smith and the trusted professionals at Environmental Comfort Systems can take care of your indoor air quality concerns with their state-of-the-art indoor air quality solutions. Environmental Comfort's indoor air quality systems remove 99.9% of airborne contaminants so you and your family can breathe clean, fresh air. If anyone in your family suffers from allergies, or if you just want the security of knowing the air you breathe inside your home is free from viruses, bacteria, pet dander, dust, and odors, Environmental Comfort Systems are the professionals to call. Environmental Comfort also carries state-of-the-art, high-efficiency comfort systems that increase home comfort, keep humidity in check, and help you save money on your energy bills. Give my friend Rick a call or visit them online at envcomfort.com and breathe cleaner air today. Environmental Comfort Systems, Alabama license number 92314.
Listen to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Weekday afternoons starting at 5 on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Coming up next, it's the Tom Abraham Show with me, Tom Abraham. Now back to more Talkin Ball with Scott and Drew.
Welcome back to Talkin Ball on a Thursday, coming to you live from Bill Penny Toyota. It is time once again for us to talk a little high school football, and that means we'll talk Madison Academy football. This interview brought to you by our good friends over at SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center. They are a proud sponsor of Madison Academy football. Invite you to visit their Saturday sports clinic for all of those sports-related injuries. Each Saturday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., visit 4715 Whitesburg Drive. It's the SportsMed Saturday Sports Clinic, and that is not just for football nicks and bruises. It is for any sports-related injury. Visit the Saturday Sports Clinic from SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center. Time for us to bring in the Mustang head coach, the one, the only, Bob Godsey.
Yes, he's having to follow in the footsteps of his mentor. One of them is Jerry Adcock was on with us yesterday. They are the 97.7 The Zone Bryant Bank Team of the Week with their big win over Athens to get into the playoffs. But the Madison Academy Mustangs are an unbeaten region champion as they finish off region play 7-0 with a 48-3 domination of St. John Paul II. The Falcons, who are having a tough season under Joe Ross and in a transition year, but certainly Madison Academy has been the picture of consistency since their opening loss to a very talented Briarwood Christian team. Now they're bookending it with another tough challenge tonight. With the weather right now looking spotty, but they will play at Bill Washington Stadium against the one loss and I believe ranked in the top 10 in 5A, the Russellville Golden Tigers of John Ritter. It's going to be a heck of a matchup tonight over at Bill Washington Stadium. Two teams very capable of making playoff runs, and Coach Bob Godsey is on right now with us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline to discuss the win over St. John Paul and then the challenge tonight of taking on Russellville. Coach, welcome back. You're with Drew and Scott. How are you this morning, sir?
I'm good, guys. How are you doing?
We're doing well. And Coach, I guess right off, before we discuss the win this past Friday, the weather is an issue right now. I know you guys are watching it closely. How do you kind of prepare for that tonight against a very talented Russellville Golden Tigers team? Because I know, first and foremost, you want to continue to stay sharp, but you also want to put your kids in position to play well and, of course, avoid injury.
Well, of course, we're a little nicked up as it is right now, but weather is part of it going forward. The forecast, hopefully it was still going to break here after this morning. Deal gets through here, and it'll be a nice night for football is what we're counting on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Coach, you put a cap on the regular season tonight against a team that last year would have been the first meeting between the two teams, Russellville. Tonight, actually, the first meeting on the field between the two. But before we dive into Russellville, just kind of reflect on the regular season as a whole up to this point.
Well, I'm pleased with where we are. I'm pleased with our guys, how hard they've worked, and the progress that we continue to make. I think we've come a long way just this season. I think we've come a long way over the last really 2 seasons, just in terms of building a program and playing a certain standard. And we just want to continue to do that. And all of that is geared toward each individual player being the best that he can be, not only on the football field but off the football field. Once he leaves here, we're trying to our best to build young men that will be good leaders in our community. That will be good, sons and brothers and fathers one day, and husbands and things of that nature. And I'm pleased with the progress that we're making, both on and off the field. We want that to continue through this season.
Yeah, no question, Coach. And I wanted to ask you a little bit about some guys maybe that we haven't had a chance to discuss defensively, because your group has been very, very good on that side of the ball, on both sides. Anytime you win 8 games in a row, but certainly defensively, you hold St. John Paul to 3 points. And there's a young man I wanted to ask you about, one of your linebackers, and I've known his father for a long time. We were classmates at Huntsville High School. He was a really good running back for the Crimson Panthers before going on to play at the University of North Alabama. But I wanted to ask about Justin Parker. I know he had a fumble recovery in the game this past Friday night. I know he's been a big part of your team defensively. What has he meant to your program this year, and how have you thought that he's performed for the Mustangs?
Well, he is exactly what we just talked about previously, in that he gets better every week. He's a great teammate. He's a guy that we count on for a lot of things. He's a guy that we can put in a lot of different situations, and he picks them up pretty quick and helps our team. But he has just continued to improve defensively for us. He does a great job on special teams for us. And he runs the ball pretty well when we ask him to do that as well. So, but he's a great leader on our team. Especially in practice and things like that, of keeping guys moving, keeping guys going, and we rely on him for a lot.
Mm-hmm. Well, Coach, at the beginning of the year, you put a tough schedule together for Madison Academy. You open up with a tough game against a Briarwood Christian team to really kind of set the tone for the year. Now you follow it up with a perfect, unbeaten Russellville squad, who you go back to your days at Hartselle, you're very familiar with as far as name Russellville goes, but the teams are different. Talk about bookending the season with quality opponents to, I guess, kind of get you ready now for the postseason.
Well, it sounds a lot better maybe than it is. Looking at it on paper, we really did want to challenge ourselves, and we succeeded in that part. I think 4 or 5 8 ranked, Briarwood to start the season, and then I think Russell's ranked 6th in 5A, Briarwood at 6A. So, but we just felt like we needed to challenge our guys and really push them to show them what else is out there and who else is out there, and hopefully, the thought process behind it, if we get through it healthy, is to, teach our guys and put them in situations to just to improve themselves and to get better. And I think one way of doing that is playing good competition, and that's certainly what Briarwood and the Russells and people of that nature bring. So that we're going to continue to play those folks just to continue to grow our program.
Yeah, no question about it. And Coach Ritter does a great job there. Of course, are the 5A Region 8 champions, and they've done an outstanding job in their region this year. Much like you guys, they go undefeated in region play. They come in at 8-1. They're only lost to your former school, an unbeaten Hartselle team that's having a special season in their own right. But I know you've studied Russellville. You've studied what they do. Coach Ritter, of course, his father was an outstanding coach as well. But what have you seen on film of Russellville that really impresses you, Coach?
Well, they play extremely hard. They play the game really the way it's supposed to be played. They're not going to give you anything offensively and defensively. There's a lot of kind of history between. As you mentioned, Coach Ritter. I played for him and coached with him, and then of course, have known John his whole life. Chris Ballantyne runs the defense for Russell, ran the defense for me at Brooks. So there's a lot of history on that staff. They coach their guys extremely well. They're extremely talented, and they play extremely, extremely hard. They don't make mistakes. They force you to earn everything you get. And that's the level where we're trying to get it. And we've made so much more improvement. Just going back to we left the gap uncovered the other night against JP2, and they had a big run. And typically, where a lot of times we would go ahead and let them score there. We had a guy, with just incredible effort, and Tim Spurlock run the guy down. And then on the next 3 plays, they lost yards, pushed them back to a field goal. Little things like that are just big in terms of growing your program and setting a standard that will help you as you get into big games like tonight and hopefully down the road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Coach, you've gone through 9 games this season. There's no secrets anymore. You guys are. You have an identity. But how much do you attack, or what do you do in a game like tonight? Because obviously you want to get through and you want to be healthy for that playoff run. How much do you do tonight in this season finale?
Well, it's all systems go. I mean, we're playing to win, and we're going to get after it. We're going to make good decisions as far as longevity when it comes down to it. But this is a great measuring stick for this particular team, just to see where we are and to grow it. But this is all systems go in terms of we've got a great game plan on both sides of the ball for what they do. Let's go ahead and execute it to the best that we can, and the sun will come up tomorrow, and we'll move on to the playoffs.
And then, Coach, this is a team at Russellville that's pretty explosive offensively. It'll be a great challenge for your defense. Last week, Xavier Webster and Holden Blake. Holden Blake, I know, is a big-time leader back there in your secondary. Both had interceptions for you. A.J. Rice had a fumble recovery along with Justin Parker's that we discussed already. So this is going to be a big-time challenge. You talked about that situation where Deuce Spurlock made the play, and then the goal line stand kind of forced a field goal. The defense did not allow a touchdown against JP2, but defensively this is going to be a really good test for your guys, I would think.
Oh, no question. They're hard nosed. They're going to bring it right at you. They use a lot of different tight end, H-back sets, and they kind of challenge you, just physically and mentally. And, with obviously the conditions being a little wet, that'll probably even be more of the more of the case there in terms of they're going to bring it right at us. I think we're a little more suited, a little more built for that than the past 2 years. That seems to be what everybody's, we've talked about many times on here, likes to try to do, is just to bring it right at us. That's what Russell, that's how they built their team and their program. They're really good at it. So that'll be a great test for us. Like I said, we are down with you guys, but that's the way it goes this time of year. We've worked hard to build depth, and hopefully that will show tonight.
Players like playing in the rain. Do coaches like coaching in the rain?
It'll be okay. As I tell the guys, it's just water, and it'll be okay. It'll come 7 o'clock, and I always seem to have a way of clearing off, and it'll be a big night for everybody. I don't mind coaching in it. I think wives mind sitting in it out there, and certainly my wife has done that a lot. But it is what it is, and as we were talking yesterday, to get through the playoffs, there's going to be a game just like this. There's going to be a cold one. There's going to be a wet one.
Yeah.
You're going to see it all. So we'll go ahead and maybe get a little experience in that tonight.
And, Coach, I would think also offensively for your group, I know you guys like to run the football, but also if with wet conditions, you also get a chance to see how your quarterback reacts to throwing a wet ball, how your running backs protect the football in situations like this, because, as you said, with the colder weather, and that's something you can't control, whether you have to play through the rain. I've seen it happen in playoff runs for teams before, but I would think this is another chance for your offense of course, you're testing yourself against an outstanding defense from Russellville, but also to see how they react to adverse maybe weather conditions and still being able to execute.
Well, I think you made a great point there. You said you control what you control. We spent a lot of time talking about that. And, weather's one of the things you can't control. Officiating, good breaks, bad breaks, all of those type things. Control what you control, which is basically, playing the best that you can play, playing as hard as you can play, and have fun doing it, and be tough doing it. And you can control those things, and that's really all that we asked out of our guys, and that's what we'll get tonight. They'll play extremely hard, and regardless of the conditions, and handle whatever comes their way.
All right, Coach. Madison Academy wins tonight if?
Well, same old thing. We tackle well, and we take care of the football. It'll be a premium tonight with wet conditions, but we got to show a little toughness tonight. Like I said, they're going to load up with multiple tight ends and bring it right at us, and we're going to show some toughness. Defensively, they are hard-nosed, run to the football, so we're going to have to show some toughness over there as well. And be patient, be willing to grind some things out, and the team that can do that the best will be the team that comes out on top.
No question about it, and we look forward to the call. Glenn Laird and Steve Moulton will bring it to us tonight. We hope the weather gets out of there too. Russell, I'm sure, is going to bring a lot of folks. Madison Academy has an outstanding fan base. They're going to show a lot of support. Should be a great crowd over at Bill Washington Stadium tonight. Two of the best teams, number 6 Russellville in 5A, number 1 Madison Academy in 4A, both region champions, and both looking forward to hopefully long playoff runs. That this is going to be an outstanding test for each squad. Well, Coach, we always appreciate the time. Stay dry there, and good luck tonight. And hopefully the Mustangs can bring home win number 9. But we always appreciate the thoughts, sir.
All right, appreciate it, guys. Enjoyed it.
All right, thanks. Of course, that interview brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center. Give them a call today, 256-881-5151. to experience the SportsMed difference. SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, dedicated to providing care that improves lives. Let's get our break in. When we come back, going to wrap up hour number 1 here on Talking Ball Live from Bill Penny Toyota, hanging out in the service department.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Got a wreck on 565 near Mile Marker 14. Sounds like we've got lots of blockage in that area. Just got a wreck at Sparkman and Scenic Drive. That one's coming in with injuries. One on Rideout Road at Gate 9's reporting with an injury. Pulaski Pike and Rigsby just reported a couple of minutes ago. It's coming in as an injury type. Still working that car-train collision. That's in Decatur, Highway 20 near 12th Avenue. They're combining east and westbound traffic on the eastbound side. You get 3 pieces of the crispy tender chicken and a buttermilk biscuit for $4.99 at Popeyes, University and Jordan, 72 in Jeff and North Parkway. Captain Nick in the Popeyes Skywatch Traffic Center.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Protecting your family is a priority. Smoke and carbon monoxide detectors are 2 of the best life-saving investments for the safety of your home and your family. But they do actually expire. The expert electricians at Mr. Sparky will test and advise or install the best unit for your home. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-Sparky.
Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Organizations using Salesforce know how powerful the platform is and how much time, money, and headaches it saves if it's set up right and you know how to use it. Let's face it, Salesforce is complicated and time-consuming to figure out, and a lot can go wrong now and down the road without expert help. That's why most Salesforce users work with an implementation partner like Higher Echelon, so they get the absolute most out of their Salesforce investment. Higher Echelon is a 5-star Salesforce consulting partner who won Salesforce Military Hiring Partner of the Year. President Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets. He puts that experience to good use at Higher Echelon, where they pride themselves on hiring veterans. Look, not all Salesforce partners are the same. Don't put your company at risk by going with an inferior partner. Higher Echelon is the trusted partner you can count on to get you up and running and seeing returns on your Salesforce investment in a fraction of the time it would take if you go it alone. Go to higherechelon.com. That's HIGHERECHELON.com to learn more. Go higher and go Army.
It just works. Picture this. You're at home, doing whatever it is you do. Then, pow! The power goes out. Then what? Well, at my house, life goes on. We have a Generac automatic home standby generator from Current Electrical and Generator Services. For your home security and peace of mind, get a free personal consultation on how a Generac automatic home standby generator can protect you. Current Electrical and Generator Services. Call or visit us on the web at HuntsvilleGenerators.com. You've got the power.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Never mind fall and football being in the air. We want to taste it.
And never mind not being able to tailgate at the game. Let's create the ultimate barbecue experience in your own backyard.
You said it, Foster Brooks, and that's where Brooks & Collier comes in. Big selection of outdoor furniture.
And a big selection of grills and smokers like Traeger, Big Green Egg, Blaze, even DCS, and more.
This is the good stuff.
And Paul, we definitely got the accessories. And remember, we deliver. Visit us at 813 Meridian Street and shop online at brooksandcollier.com.
This segment of Talkin Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
Welcome back. Getting ready to put a cap on hour 1 of Talkin Ball here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, coming to you live from the Bill Penny Service Department out here along University Drive, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., Monday through Friday. You can pull your car in to one of the heated bays. You don't even have to get out in the rain. You just pull right on in. They'll take care of all your car service needs. And then on Saturday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Right now, don't forget, you can buy 3 tires. You get that 4th one for $1 here at Bill Penny Toyota. And don't forget to take advantage of all the great financing deals available on all those brand new Toyotas that are sitting up there in the showroom, the largest Toyota dealer in here in the state of Alabama. And congratulations to all of our winners so far that have gone to see, or getting to see Trayshawn Holden, Sherry Clark, Jeremy Ballantyne, Brian Canterbury, and David Wilburn.
Yep.
They're all headed to see Trayshawn Holden, and we're not done.
Nope.
We still can give you more chances to go see Trayshawn Holden and get an autograph from the current Alabama standout, because remember, name, image, and likeness is making all this happen. You can get a autograph from a player now, and that money goes to said, well, part of it goes to said player.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can, we will, in the next hour, second hour of the show, we'll have some more opportunities to call in and win a free ticket to meet and get an autograph from Trayshawn Holden. And also, just once again, I know we had somebody call in about Bryce Young. That will be tomorrow. We'll give an opportunity for that as well. So you'll have the chance to, on Saturday and Sunday, go have to meet and greet, and of course get an autograph from a Crimson Tide student athlete. We talked about that. There's going to be 7 total as of right now. We'll let you know if there's any more changes, but there will be 3 student athletes signing on Saturday, and then 4 signing on Sunday. And again, due to the fact that of name, image, and likeness, like Scott said, it's changed a lot of things, and then that means that current guys with eligibility now that will be with the University of Alabama, some of them 2 more years, because JoJo Earl will be a part of it on Sunday. They can come and sign autographs, and of course everything is legal and binding due to name, image, and likeness. They can be represented, and so they're coming to be a part of this. And again, as we said, sportscollectibles.com and Mike Rodman and Bama Authentics are going to be a big part of it, and we're going to continue to keep you updated as if there's any late additions to it. But they do a great job of putting these shows together, and Mike will join us tomorrow, and we'll continue to promote this event coming up starting Saturday.
All right, that'll be at Parkway Place Mall. Now, speaking of Parkway Place Mall, past and present.
Right.
Past, Mark Ingram, I believe, signed autographs at Parkway Place Mall back in the day, right after he was done in his days in a Crimson Tide uniform. Mark Ingram making the news yesterday because the Houston Texans have traded are trading Mark Ingram from the Texans to the New Orleans Saints. So Mark Ingram, a part of the New Orleans Saints a few years ago, he went from New Orleans to Baltimore, and then I believe from Baltimore over to Houston, but he is headed back to New Orleans. He does fill a big hole for the Saints in that running back position.
Well, yeah, I mean, certainly right now Alvin Kamara is a big part of it, but they needed a complement to him. The Saints have been struggling in the backfield a little bit. Offensively, Jameis Winston has been solid, but they only scored 13 points the other day in Seattle to win that game 13-10 on Monday Night Football. So Mark Ingram can still play. He certainly
does he have a gas in the tank?
I mean, he's kept himself in really good shape. I think he got off to a little bit of a slow start with the Saints, but I'm not sure they were using him properly. But it's kind of like the same situation with Derrick Henry. But I think he and Sean Payton got on the same page. He was very productive for the Saints. He had good years with Baltimore. Then went to Houston. Houston is a dumpster fire. They are,
they're bad.
They're trying. They're in the transition. They're trying to trade Deshaun Watson, who doesn't want to be there. But we know about the legal issues with Deshaun right now, so that's why he hasn't been moved. The Miami Dolphins seem obsessed with trading for him and ruining their organization, but which is what they'll do.
Which is what we're going to go into in the second hour, because that's a lengthy conversation.
Because, when you look at the Dolphins, I hope that they wise up and back out of this, but they seemed obsessed in kind of making it happen because of their owner. But, of course, when you look at the Dolphins in the last 20-plus years since the Dan Marino era ended, it's been nothing but losing, except for, maybe a season here or there, nothing consistent except consistent stupidity. And this would be more of it. But, I mean,
go into that because there was news yesterday that came out around all of that. But that is hour one of Talking Ball. Coming up in hour two, we're going to hear from Greg Sankey. We got to hear from Sankey because he talked about the SEC officials yesterday on the Paul Feinbaum show, and he tried to answer a question that we have gotten on this show several times, and that is make officials full-time in the league. Will it help or will it not help? Greg Sankey will answer that question for all of you that have asked it coming up in hour number two.
Tom Luganbill here for Woody Anderson Ford. When I was in the Tennessee Valley, one of the things that impressed me the most was the quality of the people. People like Bobby White and his team at Woody Anderson Ford. And now you can experience the tremendous new service lanes and showroom at Woody Anderson Ford, at Jordan and Sparkman, or just stop by for breakfast or lunch at Henry's Mustang Cafe. And in Madison, visit Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, just south of 72. Like a great college football tradition, always there, Woody Anderson Ford.
Chapman Commercial Realty, your source for Alabama commercial real estate. Chapman Commercial Realty has the experience and expertise you're looking for when making commercial real estate decisions. If it's office space, retail space, investment property, or project development, Chapman Commercial Realty is your answer. Call Bill Chapman today at 256-656-8413. That's 256-656-8413. Or find them online at chapmancommercialrealty.com.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Got a wreck on 565 near mile marker 14. Sounds like we've got lots of blockage in that area. Just got a wreck at Sparkman and Scenic Drive. That one's coming in with injuries. One on Rideout Road at Gate 9's reporting with an injury. Pulaski Pike and Rigsby just reported a couple of minutes ago. It's coming in as an injury type. Still working that car-train collision. That's in Decatur, Highway 20 near 12th Avenue. They're combining east and westbound traffic on the eastbound side. You get 3 pieces of the crispy tender chicken and a buttermilk biscuit for $4.99 at Popeyes, University and Jordan, 72 in Jeff and North Parkway. Captain Nick in the Popeyes Skywatch Traffic Center.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Thursday, expect scattered showers and possibly a thunderstorm before lunchtime. High temperatures going to be topping out in the upper 60s for the afternoon. Gusty winds as high as 30 miles per hour are possible as well. For your Thursday night, expect a few isolated showers. Low temperatures falling into the lower 50s. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Simple Green is perfect for making your auto, RV, cycling, boating, and other sporting equipment look like new. Visit them at simplegreen.com.
College football coming up on Saturday. Auburn hosting Ole Miss. The Tigers favored by 3. Auburn minus 137 on the money line. Mississippi State plus 117 with an over-under of 67. NFL coming up on Sunday. Carolina is at Atlanta. The Falcons favored at home by 3 points. Carolina on the money line plus 145. Atlanta minus 165 with an over-under of 46. While the Tennessee Titans are at Indianapolis, the Colts favored by 1. Tennessee plus 100. Indianapolis minus 120 with an over-under of 51.5. For vsin.com, I'm Tony Desiri, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Log on today, 97.7ESPN.com. Welcome to Talkin Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
And just like that, we are ready for hour number 2 here on Talking Ball. Don't forget, you can join us each weekday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Today, we are once again live from the Bill Penny Service Department, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. They can service your vehicles, and then on Saturday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. We want to hear from you in hour number 2, 256-576-4977. That's the number for you to get in on the show this morning. And we're going to kick off hour number 2. We want to ask the question, and we wanted it has been asked on this show numerous times, and that is what to do with the SEC officials, Drew, because it seems like every week something happens in a game that makes us scratch our heads when it comes to the SEC officiating. And on this show, it has been brought up by several callers that, and you even said it, why not make them full-time employees? Make the officials full-time. Greg Sankey yesterday on the Paul Feinbaum show addressed that exact topic.
And when I look at the dedication of our officials, and I'll speak to other collegiate conferences, the amount of time they dedicate to their craft is substantial. And if you take an individual and simply make them full-time, does that really solve the dynamics of the game? So if we take a step back from the emotion, and Wednesday's probably a good day to do that, things are happening so fast on a football field, and particularly when we see sped up offenses, which is just a reality that we have to encounter in college football, that makes decision making even more demanding. It has to happen more quickly. The evaluation points are still the same, just in a compressed period of time. So we have to adjust to that. Having full-time employees doesn't solve those realities.
So, not all aboard on full-time officials.
That's just translation for we don't want to pay them. I mean, you know, despite the fact the SEC's printing money, they don't want to have to pay guys full-time, because you're telling me they couldn't get any better if they could, you know. He talked about how much time they spend on their craft.
Right.
But they also have full-time jobs, so they can't spend as much time as they need to, or we wouldn't see every week with this stupidity. So, you know, honestly, they need to go back and make these guys full-time so they can spend more time on their craft and honing their craft and getting better at it, because it ain't getting, you know.
Every week there's something
worse
that comes up every game.
Just understand that you need to, you know, pay these guys. They're already probably, considering that they're part-time, making too much money. But again, it's $1 million business. SEC football is a big deal, so they deserve to be well compensated.
Right.
But they deserve to be full-time, and they deserve so they can work on it, you know, every hour of every day, because it's what they do. Just like, so to me, I'm sorry, but they need to be full-time officials. You know, if they have to have a union, that's fine. They've talked about that in the NFL. But you need to have full-time officials because of how the game is changing, and it's become such a high-dollar and high-profile business, and that's what it is.
Yes.
But you need to have the best officiating possible, and to have that, you need people that can work on it every hour of every day, and so I think they need to be full-time officials. I'm sorry.
256-576-4977. That's the number of the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Get in on the show this morning on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Do you agree or disagree with Greg Sankey there? Should the SEC have full-time officials, or should they not have full-time officials? We want your thoughts and opinions on that this morning. 256-576-4977. And we want to hear your reactions to that. Staying in the SEC, though, and this comes as no shock, Harrison Bailey's name has shown up in the transfer portal, the Tennessee quarterback.
Yeah, I'm surprised it took this long because certainly he had a good spring under Josh Heupel, but once they brought in Joe Milton, once he and Hendon Hooker both transferred in and both became the top two on the depth chart, I figured Harrison Bailey wouldn't be long for Tennessee. And so he stuck around for part of this season, I guess, to see if he would be given an opportunity. He hasn't been, so he needs to go, get a fresh start somewhere else. I think he's got 3 years of eligibility remaining where he can go somewhere and try to compete for a starting job. But, yeah, no question about it that Harrison Bailey, needs to go somewhere where he can be given an opportunity to play. We'll see where that is, but I'm not surprised he's leaving Tennessee. So
that leaves Hendon Hooker and Joe Milton, obviously.
And Hooker's a senior. We'll see if he has a COVID year. I've lost track of all that. I mean, it seems like they're creating years for these guys, but certainly Joe Milton has another year of eligibility left. He had his struggles at Tennessee and really has not been able to, whether it be at Tennessee or at Michigan, find his traction yet to be consistent. Certainly a talented young man. Certainly has a lot of ability as a runner and has a strong arm. But it'll be interesting to see what Tennessee does going forward. Remember Caden Salter, who was a highly recruited guy by the previous coaching staff and Jeremy Pruitt. He already washed out at Tennessee, got into some issues off the field, and then had to transfer to Liberty and Hugh Freeze. But we'll see that what happens going forward with Harrison Bailey and how Josh Heupel continues to restock that quarterback room.
We talked a lot about with Gus Malzahn. You mentioned Hendon Hooker, and he could be, we don't know, a super senior. Yeah. But we talked a lot about this with Gus Malzahn and what type of quarterback it needs to run that offense and what makes it go and what makes it tick. What are we going to learn about Josh Heupel's offense? And Hendon Hooker is the guy that has ignited this offense. But is that the style of quarterback that Josh Heupel's going to go out and have to recruit and fill for next year? Because, this year Tennessee has been a pleasant surprise. They've been competitive. They've won a few games. But if Hendon Hooker's not there next year, Joe Milton obviously hasn't been the guy to get it done. What is Josh Heupel going to have to do beyond this year?
Probably continue to attack the portal. I would think. They've certainly they're going to continue to recruit high school QBs, and they have one committed, I believe, from the state of Indiana, who's a really good player, who they like a lot. But again, depending on where they think Joe Milton is after this year and whether or not they can get another year out of Hendon Hooker. I don't want to comment on that because I'm not really sure.
I'm not either.
Where that stands. This whole thing with super seniors and that effect, I'm not sure. If Hendon Hooker has another year. He transferred from Virginia Tech where he had been a little up and down in his career. He certainly established himself at Tennessee. It would be big if he can return next year. We probably need to clarify that with either our good friends Vince Farrar or Jimmy Himes and see where Tennessee would stand there. But, yeah, I think with the way Tennessee has been decimated by the transfer portal and so many guys leaving the program, it can work in an opposite way. I think, certainly Tennessee is going to recruit high school and junior college players, but I would think they would be very aggressive in this cycle to end it in 2022 in the transfer portal themselves. Certainly you can say, well, you're taking on somebody else's issues, but if you evaluate well and vet the young men, it can strengthen your program as well. We've certainly seen Alabama with Jamison Williams and Henry To'oTo'o strengthen their program, and Auburn was aggressive under, especially on the defensive side of the ball under Brian Harsin. So we'll see.
All right. So speaking of players, got to go here with this because I did get, it wasn't really much of a chuckle out of it, but I did kind of turn my head. LSU head coach Ed Orgeron yesterday saying that they did not have enough players to go through what is their traditional Tiger Bowl scrimmage tomorrow, and they don't have enough players healthy enough to have a full practice yesterday. Don't know about today, but LSU set to travel to Alabama next week to take on the Tide. If this was game week, I guess I'd be overly concerned. But it's the off week for LSU, and obviously when you say healthy players, if they're on that borderline, you don't practice them, you don't scrimmage them, so obviously they're sitting. But is there a deeper concern here at LSU when you say you don't have enough healthy players? Are some of these guys healthy but don't want to be healthy because they just don't want to play for Ed Orgeron right now?
Well, I mean, I said this yesterday. It sounds like there's a lack of buy-in to me. If you don't have enough healthy guys during the bye week, that's because half of them's opting out and don't give a damn. So that's what it seems like it is, with Ed Orgeron and his coaching staff. I mean, they in many ways, this has been an even more spectacular collapse than Auburn under Gene Chizik. I mean,
really?
This is,
because Auburn, remember, they didn't win an SEC game that year.
I know, but at LSU, and what I mean is, 2 years ago, they're being lauded as the best team ever in the history of this league, and now the head coach is
in college football.
And then now in 2 years, the head coach is being fired, and he doesn't have enough players to freaking, to even practice. I mean, are you kidding me? At LSU, this is one of the best programs in the country, so it's just it's just not good at all. If I'm an LSU fan, I just want to get this season over with, get the new coach in there, and then move on to the new era because this has just been a flame out of epic proportions.
Well, I mean,
Coach
considering the way that they played in that Florida game, I mean, if you're Dan Mullen and them, you're really kicking yourself in the butt, and that loss looks even worse now. Because
it's just Dan Mullen. He lays turds.
LSU's was on the brink of
that. That's just what Dan Mullen does, man. You just have to prepare yourself. That's why he is never going to win a national championship. You understand? Never. He doesn't have it in him. He'll screw it up. They'll choke and lose a game inexplicably that they shouldn't. He may eventually, I didn't know, notice I didn't say SEC. One of these years he might actually navigate it like he did last year and end up, 10-2 or 11-1.
Okay.
And finally, get to the championship game, maybe even win it. But then he'll gag in the playoffs, guaranteed. He's not going to win it. I don't think he's an elite coach. In some ways, somebody asked me this about the NFL. He may have more eyes on the NFL than he does college. I don't know why. If you're an owner, you'd hire the guy. I think it'd be about like Bobby Petrino.
So would you put Dan Mackel, or would you put his tenure at Florida at Dan Mullen's tenure at over 5 years or less than 5 years?
Well, I would say if he continues to win 10 games. May not this year, but if Florida wants to win championships, but they're also not going to fire a guy if he can beat Georgia one every 3 times, and then if he can get to Atlanta on more than one occasion, and if he's winning 10 games a year, they're not firing him. Okay,
Jim McElwain got to Atlanta how many
He did,
times?
but he also was behind the scenes just really lighting fires under some people for facilities and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And now Dan Mullen's going to have to start recruiting better. He's going to what's really going to decide his long-term future is what he does after this season. What he does with his coaching staff.
Todd
if he
Grantham.
makes the right hires, like especially on defense, then he could be there a while. He could win, especially if it helps also in recruiting. But if he makes the wrong defensive coordinator hire, if the recruiting doesn't improve, then Dan Mullen could be on the hot seat. And will Dan get another job? Of course he will. But he just won't be in the SEC. But we'll see. I mean, certainly. And I'll be interested to see if he continues to aggressively pursue the NFL like he seemed to last year after he had the third straight strong season in Gainesville. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting, but no doubt. But speaking of officiating, on the drive tonight at 5 o'clock, Steve Shaw is going to join Stephen West, so they'll have a chance to talk about what Greg Sankey had to say and about full-time officiating. And I'm sure Steve Shaw would like to see full-time officials.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you would think you'd want your product to improve and your product to be given that kind of latitude to hire full-time guys.
My question is, though, how did the SEC go from – you look at – I mean, they're even some of these mid-major conferences, these group of 5 conferences, the officiating is not that atrocious as it is in the SEC. Where did it go bad?
Well, I mean,
but it's not every game, though. I should say it's not every game every Saturday, but there's always a game, it seems like, on a Saturday that a call, we're talking about it on Monday because it was so egregious.
Well, I don't know. We don't get it. We pay attention the closest to the SEC. We don't watch the other games from the Big Ten and the ACC and the Pac-12 as much as the SEC. So I'm sure it's atrocious everywhere. I mean, I'm just going to say. I mean, it's not an easy job, though.
No,
it's very difficult, and that's the main reason I'm saying these guys need to be full time, because you need to be able to hone your craft and concentrate on your job all the time and get better at it. And so that's why, to me, they need to have full-time officials in all of college football.
In all of college football, not just
just the SEC. We're not just saying the SEC here.
We're saying the entire college football needs to have full-time officials.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Because then what you could do is you could do what they do in basketball. You could regionally do them so that guys work multiple different games in the South. You could work a Clemson game one Saturday, or then you could work an Alabama game one Saturday, or an Auburn game one Saturday, and you could rotate around rather than just be in one league and seeing the same 14 teams each and every Saturday. All right, 256-576-4977. If you want to get in on the SEC officiating talk, you're more than welcome to. We want to get your opinion as well. But we also still want to send you to go see Trayshawn Holden, because we are a station of giving in these next 2 days. And 256-576-4977. If you want to go get an autograph with Trayshawn Holden from the University of Alabama, just give Chad a call now, 256-576-4977. And I believe, Drew, we got how many more left are we going to give away? 3 more? Mm-hmm. We got 3 more Trayshawn Holden tickets to give away. So 256-576-4977 if you want to go see Trayshawn Holden. And it is really outside of Georgia, Florida. It's the game of the week in the SEC, I guess you would have to say.
And to me, it is the best game of the week, and that's Florida. That is Florida. Georgia is the cocktail party is a huge deal, but certainly the Auburn Tigers hosting Ole Miss. This is for maybe the biggest challenger to Alabama going forward in the Western Division, and so because we've already seen both these teams vanquish LSU, who is a dumpster fire and not very good. So we already know they're out of it.
Is there something worse than a dumpster fire?
Not really. But so
they're on their way.
Yeah, they've already gotten past LSU. Now both of them still have to place A&M. Texas A&M, while they had their struggles early, they beat Alabama. They seem to be getting on a roll. So it looks like but whoever wins this game, though, is setting themselves up to face A&M down the road and then have a chance. Though Ole Miss has already lost to Alabama, but Alabama, if Alabama has one more bump in the road in the regular season, Ole Miss would be there to pounce and try to get to Atlanta, and Auburn would control their own destiny here on out. If they went out, they would face Alabama in Jordan-Hare with a chance to go to Atlanta. So there's a lot at stake in this game.
All right, well, speaking of a lot at stake, let's boil it all down, and let's boil it all down next with Jason Caldwell as he answers the question, can Auburn look as good as they did against Arkansas 2 weeks later against Ole Miss?
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Still working a wreck, a vehicle versus train in Decatur, Highway 20 near 12th Avenue. They're putting all the traffic over on the eastbound side there. Maysville and Ingram reported with an injury. Sparkman and Scenic, an injury there. Had a wreck with injuries on right at Gate 9, just outside the Arsenal. Pulaski, Pike, and Rigsby also reported with injury. Do you know who to call when you need a heart doctor? You could write this name down. Dr. Randall Burns at Huntsville Heart Specialists, where they have the expertise to care for all matters of the heart. Captain Nick in the Jordan Lane Popeye Skywatch Traffic Center.
Our latest zone deal is upon us. Log on to 977ESPN.com for Gunner's Landing. 2 rounds of golf for the price of 1, including a cart. Gunner's Landing is one of the Tennessee Valley's finest golf experiences. Just 35 minutes from downtown Huntsville, Gunner's Landing's 18-hole championship jewel is open to the public 7 days a week. Gunner's Landing offers you a golf experience like no other. Log on now, 977ESPN.com.
Valley Equipment Rental. Pretty self-explanatory name, no? Tom Abraham here. And look, Valley Equipment Rental is all over the Tennessee Valley. And they rent equipment. All kinds of equipment. And not just to the contractors out there, but to you, the general public as well. Need a skid steer or an excavator? Well, they've got over 40 units to make sure they've got one for you. From huge boom lifts to miscellaneous hand tools, it's at Valley Equipment Rental on the South Parkway. And soon, they'll have a second location to handle even more equipment. More on that to come.
Drinking coffee straight from the pot. Power move. Wearing a bathrobe to work. Power move. Switching to super fast, extra reliable internet from WOW. Power move. Switch and save with WOW Internet for just $19.99 a month. It's switching season, so make a move with our best deal of the year. For a limited time, get Internet 100 with no contracts for just $19.99 a month. Plus, get a 2-year price lock and the first month free. Make the switch at wowway.com today.
Wow.
Limited to new customers with autopay and paperless billing. Offer subject to change. Restrictions and terms apply.
Everybody knows the fun begins when you get to the end zone, where you can enjoy half-price apps every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, half-price burgers every Tuesday, plus late-night pizza specials and a spectacular menu that includes jumbo wings, half-pound burgers, Tex-Mex, and an incredible selection of craft beer, and plenty of big-screen TVs. It's all happening at the end zone, 1851 University Drive, 2030 Cecil Ashburn at Jones Valley Station, and coming in early 2022, Mid-City End Zone at 1115 McMurtry next to the Target Shopping Center.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You know, you'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Lowe's Provember event is back, and we're thanking pros like you all month long with buy one, get one free deals on select DeWalt power tools and top values like a Spyder 2-pack of 4.5-inch diamond cutoff wheels for $14.98. Join us for Provember, going on now through November 24th. Shop in-store or at lowes.com/Provember. Lowe's, the new home for pros. While supplies last, U.S. only, valid 10/28 through 11/24.
Football season is here.
45, nobody's going to catch him. No shot, touchdown, 68 yards, no shot, Marino.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Chuck Oliver. Listen to me coming up at noon today. Now, back to Talkin Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
And indeed, welcome back to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. The last time we saw the Auburn Tigers, they were on the road in Fayetteville. And offensively, they put it all together nicely. Bo Nix looked outstanding. The wide receiver core looked good. Defensively, they looked good. And, Drew, you have to think if that same Auburn team, execution-wise, shows up Saturday against Ole Miss inside Jordan-Hare Stadium where things have been going well, it should be a pleasant Saturday for the home team.
Yeah, no doubt. The Auburn Tigers are coming off of, I think, the signature win for Brian Harsin, though LSU ending that streak was huge as well. But going on the road, and this is a much improved Arkansas team, a better team than LSU, and the way Auburn played, they played at a very high level on both sides of the ball, especially offensively. I thought Bo Nix played, an even better game than in some ways that he played against LSU. He threw the ball exceptionally well. The receiver core, I thought, had their best game. They got to get the running game back on track, and that's going to be a big part, I think, of Saturday. But the Auburn Tigers right now controlling their own destiny in the SEC West under Coach Brian Harsin as they come out of the bye week 5-2, and now will host the Ole Miss Rebels in what I think is really the biggest game of the weekend, with the most at stake in the SEC and especially the Western Division. And who better than to help us discuss it? 22 years he's been covering the Tigers with Mark Murphy, with Inside the Auburn Tigers, autigers.com, and part of that staff at Auburn 24/7, and that is Jason Caldwell. Jason, it's always great to speak with you again. You're with Drew and Scott here in Huntsville. How are you?
I'm good, guys. How about y'all?
We're doing well, man, and we were just talking about that. You've been around Bo even more than we have, and we're talking about back to high school at Scottsboro, Pinson Valley, and now with the Auburn Tigers. He's had an interesting career at Auburn. It's been a little up and down, not always all his fault. A lot of the quarterbacking is your supporting cast and how they perform, but I still thought when I watched that game with how Auburn beat a very solid Arkansas team in Fayetteville, I thought it was his best game. After you've watched the film and broken it down, what is your thoughts on Bo Nix and how he played in that game and how he's developed under Brian Harsin so far?
Yeah, I think it's funny. You go back and look at LSU, almost 300 yards against LSU, and you look at Georgia and all the balls that were dropped in that game. He could have very well thrown for 300 yards against the Georgia team that doesn't allow, much over 200 yards total offense, period. So I think he's played really well the last 3 weeks. He's had 2 interceptions, but one, was off the hands of Sean Shivers against Georgia. The other one was basically just a jump ball that was thrown up on third down against Arkansas. So protected the football. He's played well. He delivered the ball. The last time out against Arkansas, the offensive line gave him some time and allowed the offense to get into a rhythm. It's such a big difference when you watch a quarterback that if you're having to run and try to create throwing lanes, throws the timing of the offense completely off. We saw against Arkansas, they were able to kind of get into that rhythm, making plays, and I thought it benefited Bo really well. And I think it was probably his best all-around game.
Yeah, and then this week, now he has to come home. We've seen Bo play well on the road. It's at home sometimes where he seems to struggle a little bit. Maybe it's the expectations of playing at home. I don't know. But now he comes in and he faces a defense similar to that of Arkansas that, if given time, he could have another successful week.
Yeah, you look at Ole Miss. They're improved over last year, but it'd be hard not to be improved over the defense we saw last year from Ole Miss. Still not a great defense, though. They're still around 100 in total defense. They were much better against LSU last week, but there's no way of knowing what LSU's mindset was last week or any week at this point. What we saw the previous 3 weeks was Alabama, Tennessee, and Arkansas all having the ability to run the football and run it successfully against Ole Miss. And so Drew touched on it earlier. I think it's a huge key in Auburn come out and get the running game going, and make some plays, get, Tank Bigsby and Jarquez Hunter rolling, which would only then benefit the passing game even more. I think that's a big part of what you want to do against Ole Miss, because it also helps keep that other team, that other offense off the field. And that's a big deal, because those guys can go, and you want to limit their opportunities as much as possible.
Yeah, you really do. You want to limit their opportunities. And then this Auburn defense, the key is going to be, and it's the reason Alabama won impressively over Ole Miss and Tennessee, is they stop the run. Auburn has got to stop the run. I know they had some issues against Georgia State earlier in the year, a little bit against Penn State. But how do you see Auburn coming out this bye week? I know they had a chance to heal up, get healthier. Again, and these guys are getting used to the system of Derek Mason, but Owen Pappoe should be back. The key really, you talk about Matt Corral all you want, Jason, but to me, it's Auburn has to make Ole Miss one-dimensional and stop their running game.
Absolutely, yeah. You can't let them run it. They're third in the nation in rushing.
Yeah.
The only two teams above them are service academies who do nothing but run the ball and use option offense. That tells you right there. This team is running at a very high clip. And you look at now that they haven't played the greatest of schedules, and so that's factored into some of it. But make no mistake, they got some guys that can go. The interesting thing is that Matt Corral's the leading rusher, the most carries, top of the team lead in touchdowns. And this is a stretch of, you start talking about schedules, Alabama, Tennessee, Arkansas, LSU. That's a rough 4-week stretch for a guy that's had a lot on his shoulders. We'll see. That's going to be the thing for me, is can Auburn get after him and make him feel a little bit if he does run it, because he's a guy that's been a little beat up. I think this Ole Miss team has been beaten up some overall. They're without probably their top offensive lineman this week. So, I think no doubt to me the biggest story for Auburn defense is, can you put the ball in Matt Corral's hands and make it be third and long? Because hey, if you give this team a bunch of 3rd and 4s, then you might as well just be ready, because you're going to face a 4th and 4 even if you stop them on 3rd and 4. So you're going to face a bunch of 4th downs from Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, how should we look at this game on Saturday? Is it going to be a back and forth shoot? Do you see it being a shootout style of game, or do you think both of these offenses will be facing defenses that will be able to slow it down a little bit and keep it a mid-level score type of game?
Yeah, I don't see if it's a shootout game, then you obviously got to favor Ole Miss in that situation. But I think Auburn scored 38 against Arkansas. I think Arkansas's defense is probably a little better than Ole Miss. Arkansas moved the football, but Auburn kept them out of the end zone some. I have it in both teams in the 30s. I think it's going to be a tight game with some score. And it's hard to not think about that situation with Ole Miss, because they're going to take some chances. They're going to go up tempo. They're going to try to score. They're going to go forward on 4th down. When you do that, you can score more points, but you also can put your team at a disadvantage with some short fields for the other team. That's what we haven't seen for this Auburn offense. They've done it without having possession start on the other side of the field. You can have a few of those short fields and score points, and I think that only helps you in the chase for. I think probably the chase for 30, and then see what happens against Ole Miss. You look and they capitalized a few of those even against Alabama. They scored late to make it 21, but that's an offense that even on a day when they didn't play really well, you look up, they scored 21 points. And so, you're probably going to have to score a few Saturday.
And then how healthy is this Auburn defense going to be, Jason? I know T.D. Moultrie has been out some. One of the big, issues going into the bye had been an inconsistent pass rush, which I think has led to some of the issues in the secondary, though, of course, some of those need to be cleaned up as well. but defensively, where is Auburn right now? And I know being without Owen Papo, Zacoby McLean's had certainly a great year, but Owen, it means a lot to that team. Is he going to be ready to go Saturday, and how healthy is this defense?
Yeah, I think that's a question that we're all waiting to see is will we see Owen out there? If you do, it's a big deal. The one thing that's missing, and the defensive line has actually rushed the passer pretty well. They've already got more sacks from defensive linemen than they had all of last year in 11 games. The problem has been is you're missing those. Owen had 4 or 5 sacks last year at the linebacker position, and they've been without him for 4 full games and part of another. He brings such a dynamic because of his ability to get downfield and run that they've been without. And so you look at, and that, I think that's one that will definitely be watching to see if Owen's ready to go. If he is, I think it brings so much more to this defense. But me looking, probably going to need to rotate some more guys. We'll see if we see some more of those younger guys on that defensive line. After playing 91 snaps against Arkansas, Ole Miss, you may have to play 80, 90, even if your defense plays well, because of the fourth downs and the way they try to extend drives. So, I mean, you see some of those younger faces that we haven't seen to try to provide a little bit more depth. But, yeah, I think you're looking, Colby Wooden, Marcus Harris, EQ Leota, Derek Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the 4 guys that need to play well for Auburn on Saturday.
Look at that. We made it 13 minutes through the whole interview and didn't even talk about Brian Harsin and the vaccination comments that came out earlier this week.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Are you wanting me to talk about it? Because there's nothing.
No, I mean, I don't blame you either.
Yeah,
that silence to me
we,
means everything.
Again,
I don't even understand why it's a topic.
I don't work for another organization in this state. So if what he wants to do, he does. And, hey, if it comes to a head in December, then it will. But right now, that's not my concern. So.
Exactly. It's not even a concern. That's what I've been saying all week, Jason. Talk about Ole Miss and Auburn football. I don't understand why this has even been a topic. I think it's disrespectful to both the football programs myself.
It's the world we live in, unfortunately. That's the way things are done, and so you just go on. And, hey, like I said, it's that old saying goes, if there's a bridge that you have to cross, then you cross it when you get there. You can't cross the bridge before it happens. So.
Yeah.
Well, and Jason, this week is big, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Auburn does have a couple home games left, but recruiting-wise, this is a big game for Auburn to, I guess, bring some recruits back on campus and get them back inside Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Yeah, it's always important. Auburn had a bye week. We're able to go on the road last week and see some guys. And so, we'll see. With kind of schedules ramping up towards playoffs, this could be really an opportunity for some guys to make a little bit of a trip and come in. So, right now, just trying to figure out. Keith Niebuhr does a great job of kind of tracking and trying to figure out who all is going to be, in town and on campus, and that continues up until Saturday morning. Sometimes guys wait until that long to decide if they're going to come or not. So we'll continue to have that updated. But it should be a good weekend. I think. Night games should be great atmosphere. This is one of those opportunities to have one of those memorable weekends for them and make some headway in recruiting.
It really is. And speaking of recruiting as well, basketball right around the corner for the early signing period. Auburn right now with one commitment in the 2022 class, Trey Donaldson, point guard from the state of Florida. Good fit for Bruce Pearl's system, but they're still involved with Jerace Walker, 5-star from IMG Academy, and others. What is the outlook right now? How many do you see Auburn signing early under Bruce Pearl with this recruiting class? Because that's really been the key the last couple of years. Auburn recruiting at a very high level under Bruce Pearl and his staff, but a lot of excitement around Auburn basketball, preseason top 25, and certainly a lot of expectations.
Yeah, I think you look at them. If you can get the right guys, then I could see them signing, 2 or 3. But you look at this roster, and you got a couple of spots. You only have 11 on scholarship at the moment, so you got a couple of spots there. But there's not any seniors. So that's the way kind of basketball rosters are built now when you start getting upper level talent is you don't normally have guys that hang around for 4 or 5 years anymore. So I think it's all about kind of trying to get some talent level at the guard position. I think is big. But Jerace Walker, you mentioned him, and he's a guy that looks like he's 25 years old already. Physical, big man that I think would be a good addition to what they're doing right now. And if you're Auburn, you go the unknown. The unknown is you get a guy like Jabari Smith, Walker Kessler, those guys. Are they 1 year guys? That's the thing you never really know about nowadays in college basketball. Is you have to be very flexible, and that's why I think you always keep that some spots in your pocket in case you need them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I think that's one reason why a lot of recruiting goes on in the spring, and even the transfer portal is a huge part of it. And we know Auburn has reshaped their backcourt with those transfers, and we're looking forward to seeing how those guys mesh together. And then, of course, Alan Flanagan. With him, Jason, what's his long-term prognosis? Should he be back by SEC play?
Yeah, I think they're hoping that they can get him back maybe sometime in mid to late December to start to ease back into things. He's out of his he's out of his boots. He's doing in the pool and doing some of those things now. Just easing back into it. But I think for them that it was partial, so they're hoping that he can continue this. And so you look and it's just now getting ready for November. Have another full month to continue that progress, and then kind of see if he's ready to go a few minutes at a time, maybe in December, then have him close to full go in January. It'd be huge for Auburn if that happens.
Yeah, we really would. It's a lot of expectations, as we said, around Auburn basketball. A lot of excitement from both programs, which is great. Great for the state, great for college basketball. But really excited for Auburn basketball coming up, but also Auburn football. This is going to be a great game, I think, inside Jordan-Hare Stadium. Should be an electric crowd coming off the bye week. Auburn with a lot of momentum right now and controlling their own destiny in the Western Division. And you guys at Auburn 24/7 are going to have blowout coverage of the recruiting and all the visitors, but also of an outstanding SEC college football game. Let everybody know how to follow you and your coverage, Jason.
Yeah, you can check us out at autigers.com. Like you said, part of the 247 network there at Auburn Undercover, and also follow me on Twitter at ITATJ.
All right, thanks, Jason.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, Jason Caldwell with us. Let's get a break in. When we come back, we're going to talk Tua and the Miami Dolphins. A lot coming out of Miami yesterday. We'll explain, and we'll even hear from the quarterback himself coming up next.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
They have cleared that wreck on 565 eastbound mile marker 14. Still working to clear right out at Gate 9, Pulaski, Pike, and Rigsby, Sparkman and Scenic View, and Maysville and Ingram. Also still working on that car-train collision in Decatur. That was Highway 20 near 12th Avenue. No serious injury there. They're putting east and westbound traffic on the eastbound side. The Somnodent from Dr. Sandman's an easy-to-use oral device. No mask, no hose. Insurance accepted for sleep apnea and for snoring. 350-CARE or RandallSandlin.com. Captain Nick in the North Parkway, Popeye, Skywatch Traffic Center.
If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation, insulation removal, wall insulation, and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Protecting your family is a priority. Smoke and carbon monoxide detectors are two of the best life-saving investments for the safety of your home and your family. But they do actually expire. The expert electricians at Mr. Sparky will test and advise or install the best unit for your home. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888
Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
McCurry Motors is your car and van rental headquarters. You can rent the vehicle you need today. Family in town, sporting event, church function, no matter what your need, McCurry Motors has you covered with a wide selection of cars and vans available for rent. They have 12-passenger Mercedes Sprinter vans, 12-passenger Ford Transit vans, 15-passenger Ford Transit vans, and 15-passenger Chevrolet Express vans. They have 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville.
This Halloween, pour it on. Shop for your favorite beer, wine, and spirits at Liquor Express on University Drive or the Open Bottle on Highway 72. After all, Halloween isn't just for kids. Adults get treats too. Make it a double. Have a safe Halloween.
Hi, everybody. Eli Gold here. Right now, indoor air quality occupies top-of-mind awareness for families and business owners. Rick Smith and the trusted professionals at Environmental Comfort Systems can take care of your indoor air quality concerns with their state-of-the-art indoor air quality solutions. Environmental Comfort's indoor air quality systems remove 99.9% of airborne contaminants so you and your family can breathe clean, fresh air. If anyone in your family suffers from allergies, or if you just want the security of knowing the air you breathe inside your home is free from viruses, bacteria, pet dander, dust, and odors, Environmental Comfort Systems are the professionals to call. Environmental Comfort also carries state-of-the-art, high-efficiency comfort systems that increase home comfort, keep humidity in check, and help you save money on your energy bills. Give my friend Rick a call or visit them online at envcomfort.com and breathe cleaner air today. Environmental Comfort Systems, Alabama license number 92314.
Tom Abraham here from my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's North Alabama Mortgage.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, here letting you know we are proud supporters of Madison Academy football. Stop into the University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including the all-new Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the stylish new K5, and sporty new Seltos. Visit universitykia.com to view all our great offers and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia today, because we want to see you in a Kia. Go Mustangs!
Chad, cue the cheesy Italian music. So you're in charge of the dinner spot, and the family is a hard group to please. Dad wants award-winning 21-day-age certified Angus beef. Mom craves authentic Italian food like great-grandma. Sissy pretty much won't eat anything but fresh seafood. And old life of the party, Uncle Walter, likes to enjoy a cigar after dinner with some live local entertainment and some killer cocktails. So you think you're in a pickle? Well, you're not. Relax. I'm Tom Chapman, chef at Nick's Ristorante at 10300 Bailey Cove Road, just south of Weatherly. We have all that and more. Our friendly and helpful staff is eager to help you Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 5. So, corral that crazy crew of yours and give us a call at 256-489-8280 or tell them to check us out at nicksristorante.com. I promise you, the gang will all think you're a culinary cruise director of awesomeness if you take them all to Nick's. See you soon. Ciao. Okay, Chad, kill that music.
Nick's is for patrons 19 or older.
This segment of Talkin Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com. It's time for tomorrow's headlines today with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Just a couple headlines today. One of them is pretty big. The other one is just a happy birthday wish. Former Auburn and current UCF head football coach Gus Malzahn celebrating his birthday today. And obviously Gus is not celebrating a lot right now in his first year at UCF. And he was
petitioning. Did they cater Waffle House?
He was petitioning and making a loud statement beginning of the year that the group of 5 teams needed to have a say in the playoffs and that they need to expand the playoffs. They need 12 teams in the playoffs. And he was really lobbying for Cincinnati out of his own conference this year to get into the playoffs. But Gus Malzahn trying to get UCF back on track. And there was speculation, even when Josh Heupel was there last year, that UCF was taking a step back, that the recruiting had not been as strong, and that they had not been as strong since they won that national championship a few years ago. The other big headline, and that came out yesterday, and it was simply, I guess it caught fire. It caught a little bit of steam because of this question during a Dolphins press conference.
When you're hearing all the outside, and then also the internal conversation with the team secretary, do you feel wanted in this organization?
I don't not feel wanted. That's what I could say.
Tua asked yesterday if he feels wanted by the Miami Dolphins, and his response was what you heard there. I don't feel not wanted. I don't not feel wanted is what he said. I got to make sure I say that right. I don't not feel wanted. That's what I could say about Tua, or that's what he said yesterday. So there you have it.
F. That's basically the Dolphins organization in a nutshell. A flunk. Because they'll probably blow it. I mean, they don't even know if Deshaun Watson's going to be, eligible to play this year. Could be suspended by the NFL. Deshaun doesn't want to settle the lawsuits because he doesn't want to admit he's guilty. So,
I mean, has there been a quarterback more scrutinized, more questioned, more whatever than what Tua has had since he's arrived in the NFL? Can you remember a quarterback that has been scrutinized this much and his name has been brought up in trade rumors?
Well, that's not his
talks?
fault, though. That's the stupid Dolphins. They drafted him.
Right.
They knew he had a hip injury. They knew he needed to recover. They needed to try to surround him with players, and instead their moron owner has been more concerned with trying to trade for a guy who decided he didn't want to stay in Houston and probably is getting run out of Houston, considering how he handled himself off the field. Now, Deshaun on the field was great.
Right.
Outstanding player. But he became disgruntled with their organization and the way they were handling things. But then it turns out what he was doing off the field was a disaster. And so you would think the Miami Dolphins wouldn't want that scrutiny, wouldn't want to take that chance. But the owner, all he's seeing is the production of Deshaun. But guess what? He's not going to have the same supporting cast in Miami. They haven't surrounded, Tua with the proper players. Are they going to do that with Deshaun Watson? I mean, this organization at Miami had made some good moves, but is able to trade Laramie Tunsil, get a bunch of draft picks, set themselves up for the future to surround Tua Tagovailoa with the talent he needed. They had a strong, a good young defense under Brian Flores, but the way they've handled this whole quarterback situation has wrecked their season. I mean, certainly, and their offensive line.
Like, 1-5 right now.
And really it goes back to the quarterback. They were more concerned with trading for another quarterback than signing a decent offensive line as far as through the draft and free agency and surrounding Tua Tagovailoa with players, and they didn't do that. They didn't fortify their running game, the running back room. They didn't do anything they should have, because as soon as Deshaun Watson started saying he wanted to be traded, then they started trying to figure out ways to, deal with for him. And the thing about it is, he's not going to be able to elevate that team into a playoff contender. Hell, was Houston a playoff team when he, the last 2 years when he played at a high level? No, they were terrible. So they didn't even win games when he was there. So, and so a lot of people were trying to say that Tua struggled and his numbers are hollow. Well, so were Deshaun Watson's the last couple of years. He didn't win anything. And so, again, it's all about surrounding your quarterback with the proper talent. And Deshaun probably didn't have a great supporting cast in Houston either.
Right.
But, again, I wouldn't want the scrutiny. I wouldn't want the off-field situation and the publicity, the negative publicity you could get if you're the Miami Dolphins. I would be wanting to build around Tua Tagovailoa who's got a spotless reputation. He's somebody that if he can get healthy and stay healthy, you surround him with the proper talent. You saw what he can do on the college level. I would be trying to build around him in the NFL. I don't understand why the Dolphins are doing this, and it's going to blow up in their face. And if they do it, I hope it does. I hope they stink, and and they're going to get what they deserve.
Well,
and
yeah,
so,
because this has been something that has been ongoing the whole.
Then why
entire
did
thing.
you draft Tua in the first place? Because your organization is basically, and your owner is a moron. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and that's sometimes why these organizations don't win.
Chris Greer is the general manager for the Dolphins. Now, Tua did say yesterday that he and Brian Flores, the head coach, did meet after the loss to Miami, and Flores did reaffirm him that he is the Miami starting quarterback. But they are not putting to bed the Deshaun
You mean the loss
Watson
to Atlanta,
rumors.
right?
Yeah, the loss to Atlanta. Yeah, he reaffirmed him that he is his starting quarterback. But they have not put to bed the rumors that they are going for Deshaun Watson.
Well,
Miami could end all of this right now and say, we are not going after Deshaun Watson. We are not getting him. Tua is our quarterback, and we move on. But they're not doing so. So it's creating all of this mess.
In Brian Flores' defense, I think he may want to do that, but a lot of times it's the owner and the general manager that make that call. So we'll see what happens. We want to thank Jason Caldwell. We want to thank Coach Bob Godsey. It's been a great show. And everybody that called in, we've got 3 more autographs that we'll try to give away tonight on the drive for Trayshawn Holden. But everybody continue to listen to us and tune in. And again, we got more opportunities tomorrow on Talkin Ball as well.
We want to thank Bill Penny Toyota. They have been gracious hosts to us the last 4 days. Tomorrow, Drew and I are going to be at Metro Diner on Highway 72 in Madison. It's not his own deal day. He's going to be enjoying a good breakfast and a show.
What can you expect when you shop for a firearm at Bullet & Barrel? Expect great prices. We specialize in quality over quantity. Expect great